Good morning, everyone. The New Jersey Educational Facilities Authority gave notice of the time, place, and date of this meeting by email on June 18th, 2024 to the Star Ledger, the Times of Trenton, the Secretary of State, and by posting the notice at the offices of the authority in Princeton, New Jersey, and on the authority's website. Pursuant to the New Jersey Open Publics Meeting Act, a resolution must be passed by the New Jersey Educational Facilities Authority in order to hold a session from which the public is excluded. Cheryl, would you please read the roll?
Josh Otis.
Here.
Richie Hutchinson.
Here.
Louis Rodriguez.
Here.
Brian Feeney.
Here.
Angela Bethia.
Here.
We also have on the call this morning, Sam Kovac-Moore from the Governor's Authorities Unit, Brian McGarry from the Attorney General's Office. I don't believe I saw Bernard Davis.
No, it'll just be me.
Okay. From the authorities staff, we have Steve Nelson, Ellen Yang, Brian Sikus, and Carl McDonald. From Rider University, we also have Jim Hartman, who is the Senior Vice President for Finance and Chief Financial Officer. Welcome, Jim. Also regarding the Rider University matter, we have John Cavalier from McManaman, Scotland and Bauman, Bond Counsel to the authority.
Great, thank you, Cheryl. I'd like to ask everyone to please turn to tab 1. I'd like to request a motion approving the minutes of the July 23rd, 2024 meeting. Is there a motion?
So move, Louis.
Moved by Lewis, second by Ridgely. Cheryl, would you please read the roll?
Josh Otis.
Yes.
Richard Hutchinson.
Yes.
Louis Rodriguez.
Yes.
Brian Feeney.
Yes.
Angela Bethia.
Yes.
All in favor.
Great, thank you. Now I'd like to ask everyone to please turn to tab 2 for a resolution of the New Jersey Educational Facilities Authority consenting to a parity lien in connection with bonds issued by the authority on behalf of Rider University. I'd like to ask Carl to please introduce the resolution.
Thank you, Josh. The authority seeking board approval for consent to a parity lien on tuition revenues in connection with the authority's $41,770,000 revenue bonds issued for Rider University. That was 2017 Series F. Rider has obtained a commitment for financing from First Eagle Investment Management LLC in the aggregate amount of $4.7 million that will require the pledge of tuition by the university. By way of background, the loan agreement for the 2017 Series F bonds provides that the university shall not pledge or create or suffer to be created or exist upon tuition any lien, security interest, or restriction without the consent of authority, which consent shall not be unreasonably withheld. The authority has previously consented to a pledge of tuition on August 25th, 2020 and March 23rd, 2021 to secure a series of bonds issued on behalf of Rider by the Wisconsin Public Finance Authority. On May 28th, 2024, the authority had also consented to a parity lien on tuition revenues as Rider University attempted to secure, was pursuing a financing from Charter Asset Management Fund, LP, in the aggregate amount of $15 million. Rider University staff has advised authority staff that the university is no longer pursuing the financing from the Charter Asset Management Fund, and it is in the best interest of the university to instead obtain financing from First Eagle Investments, which are anticipated to be issued as taxable bonds through the Wisconsin PFA. In addition to the board's consent with the proposed financing with First Eagle, this resolution before you will also rescind the authority's prior consent to the parity lien on tuition for the charter loan. I would now like to introduce John Cavalier of McManaman, Scotland and Bowland, who's serving as bond counsel on this transaction, to formally present the resolution. Following Mr. Cavalier's presentation, if the board members have any questions, either John, myself, or Jim Hartman from the university will be happy to answer it then.
Thank you, Carl. Good morning, everyone. The resolution before you authorizes certain authority officers to execute a consent to a lien on Rider's tuition to secure financing with First Eagle Investment Management, LLC, on a parity with the lien on tuition currently securing the authority's 2017 Series F bonds, provided that the principal amount of the new financing does not exceed $4.7 million. As Carl mentioned, this resolution supersedes and rescinds the resolution of the authority adopted on May 28, 2024, that authorized consent to a lien on Rider's tuition to secure $15 million financing with Charter Asset Management Fund, LP. Also, as you mentioned, Ryder is determined that it is in the best interest of the university to proceed with the First Eagle financing instead of the financing with Charter Asset Management Fund. In addition, the resolution authorizes certain designated officers of the authority to execute any and all other documents necessary or proper for the purposes of carrying out the resolution. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to address them. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you, John. Any questions for Carl or John? Thank you both. Resolution of the New Jersey Educational Facilities Authority consenting to a parity lien in connection with bonds issued by the authority on behalf of Rider University. I'd like to request a motion approving the resolution.
So moved.
Moved by Lewis. Is there a second?
That was me that
Excuse me,
moved.
I'm sorry, Ridgely. Yep, moved by Ridgely. Is there a second?
Second, Lewis.
Perfect. Thank you. Cheryl, please read the roll.
Josh Otis,
Yes.
Ridgely Hutchinson,
Yes.
Louis Rodriguez,
Yes.
Brian Feeney,
Yes.
Angela Bethia.
yes,
All in favor?
Thank you. Now I'd like to ask everyone to please turn to tab 3 for a report on the operating, construction, and construction fund statements and disbursements. And I'd like to ask Brian to please give the report for July and August.
Thank you, Josh. The authority concluded July with a year-to-date net operating income in the amount of 1.9 million based on year-to-date revenues of 3.5 and expenses of 1.6. Year-to-date revenues were 761,000 more than projected due to an increase in initial fees related to a higher number of bond series closing and the timing of investment income. Expenses for the first 7 months of the year were under budget by 597,000 due to the timing of expenditures. And the authority concluded August with a year-to-date net operating income in the amount of $2 million based on year-to-date revenues of 3.9 million and expenses of 1.9. The year-to-date revenues for the month were 912,000 more than projected due to the increase in initial fees related to the higher number of bond series. And operating expenditures for the first 8 months of the year were under budget by 606,000 due to the timing of expenditures.
Thank you, Brian. Any questions for Brian? Hearing none, I'd like to request a motion accepting the report.
So moved.
Moved by Ridge, I'll second. Cheryl, please read the roll.
Josh Otis,
Yes.
Ridgely Hutchinson,
Yes.
Louis Rodriguez,
Yes.
Brian Feeney,
Yes.
Angela Bethia.
yes.
All in favor?
Great, thank you. I'd like to remind everybody that our next regularly scheduled meeting is on Tuesday, October 22nd, and that the meetings will continue to be conducted via Zoom until further notice. I'd like to request a motion to adjourn.
So
So
moved.
move.
Moved by Angela, seconded by Lewis. All in favor?
Yeah. Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Great, thank you. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.